It's a great pleasure to welcome back to the GDR studios Brendan McMahon. Brendan last came to visit exactly 12 months ago, and he has agreed to return and tell us what he's been doing over the past year. Welcome, Brendan.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Before you tell us what you've been doing, let's have a little bit of a refresher of your past. Where and when did your music journey begin?
Oh, well, it was about 16. I think I'd been asking my mother to lend me some money to buy a guitar from, probably 3 or 4 years. And she finally did agree to lend me some money, $60. And I bought a guitar and an amplifier off a mate of mine. And she was sure that I was going to throw it in the cupboard after about 2 weeks. But here we are many, many decades later, and I'm still playing it.
That is absolutely fantastic. So you bought your first guitar in your teens and you were influenced by not only Australian country greats, but also heavy metal, pop, rock, and even your father singing Al Jolson. That is quite a range. With those influences, you took on country. Why country?
Well, it wasn't an immediate thing. When I was young, I played in a lot of pub rock bands, playing Aussie classics like the Angels and Cold Chisel, all those sorts of things. So then I had a bit of a break from music when I got seriously involved in a job, and I didn't have time for music. But I got back into music maybe 10 or 12 years ago and started writing songs again, and the songs just took the shape that fitted into the country music genre. And it wasn't on purpose, it's just the way it came out. And I still do think that I stray from the country music genre quite a bit, but I guess overall the bulk of my stuff does sit in that genre.
Now that we've set the scene, it's time to move on. In 2022, you won the Best Male Artist Award at the Tamworth Music Festival. In 2023, you won the People's Choice Award for the Best Album at that same festival. In 2024, you won the People's Choice Award for Best Video for I Hear Your Voice. Apart from those awards, you have received wonderful, fabulous international recognition. What is your proudest achievement and why?
Are you talking about me there? Have I actually won those? Oh, look, I think one of the things that I really got a kick out of was last year I won the Australian Songwriters Award for Best Lyrics of a song called Backroads. And I think as a artist, as a songwriter, when people acknowledge the lyrics that you painstake over, I think that's really heartwarming. So that was something that really shocked me, and I was really happy to receive.
Well, I'm certainly going to play that. When you were here last April, you told me you'd travelled to 60 different countries with your music. Since then, have you increased that number? What is your favourite country to visit? Is it still Peter Allen? Is he still correct when he says, I still call Australia home?
Always call Australia home. I've been to a lot of countries, and yes, there's been a few more, but Australia is the best country. There's no doubt about it. It's always great to get home. Look, yeah, we went over to Greenland, Iceland, the Faroe Islands, Denmark, Sweden last year, which was great. Some of my favourite countries are the not-so-common countries to visit. Greenland was wonderful. We went to a little town called Itaqatormit. Took me about 2 weeks to learn how to say that. There's about 160 people in the village. They only get 2 shipments of supplies a year. The ice freezes over. There's no roads that go into it. You know, this is in Greenland,
Well,
and it's just
what took you there? What was the...
nature. Just to see nature.
Yes.
Yeah. Bhutan is another place that's really left a mark on me, which is sort of sandwiched between Tibet and India, a little country there. Tibet was really interesting, Nepal. So all of those offbeat, off-piste sort of countries really grabbed me.
Rather than New York or London.
Yeah, great to visit those too, but they just don't have the character and the warmth of humanity that some of these smaller places do.
Have you ever felt frightened when you've been away in these countries?
On the odd occasion, not frightened, but a little bit wary. Yeah. Oh. And we've had a couple of times where people have tried to take backpacks and different bits and pieces, but That's all part of the fun of travelling, I think.
If you had the opportunity to perform with one artist or one group anywhere at all in the world, who would that be and where?
Look, it's an interesting question because there's so many wonderful artists. I'm a big fan of a guy called Harry Manx. He's a Canadian country folk singer, and I would love to do a gig with him. Where there's a special room in Nashville called the Listening Room that I haven't played yet. It's the type of room where you get 3 or 4 performers, artists on stage. The crowd's probably fits about 300 or 400 people in there. And they're so respectful of the musicians. It's all original music, and you could hear a pin drop while the artists are performing. Mm-hmm. And that's one place that's on my bucket list to play. The Listening Room in Nashville.
Do you have to be invited to play there?
No, you just have to apply.
Right.
And I did that for this trip because I'm heading over to Nashville next week. I did that for this trip, but unfortunately they didn't get back to me. So I think that they get so many applications that it's just a matter of time. You just got to wear them down.
Yeah. Brendan, this is a completely out of left field question. With so much local talent, do you have an opinion on whether or not international artists should be engaged to provide entertainment at major sporting events? I'm thinking about, say, the AFL Grand Final.
Interesting question, and I guess being parochial, I would probably say Australian artists should get the majority of it, but I do think there's room for international artists as well, because there's pre-game entertainment, there's in the middle of the game, and there's post-game entertainment. So I think as long as the majority of it is local content, there is a little spot there for high calibre international acts, because a lot of the people that go to the footy probably don't go to concerts, so it gives them an opportunity to see something from overseas as well.
Killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay. Your music is played internationally, and you really know you've made the big time when you're heard on GDR.
Definitely, definitely.
I jest about GDR. Yet it is fabulous recognition for you that your music is available worldwide. It always pleases me when I play your music and announce the artist is our very own Brendan McMahon, a local talent. For our listeners who would like to hear you at a time of their choice, at a place of their choice, do you have CDs available to purchase?
Sure do. And the best way to go about that is my website, which is brendanmcm.com. There's links to purchases of hard copies, and there's also links to the Spotifys and Apple Musics and all of the streaming services as well. So that's the best port of call to have a listen.
Brendan, you write, play and sing all your own songs. I know it's hard for a parent to nominate their favourite child, and you may well think of your songs as your children, but if you had to choose your absolute favourite of all times, which would it be?
Wow. It depends on what day and what mood I'm in, really. Look, I straight off the cuff, when you ask that question, I'd go to Backroads, because that's a very strong memory of adolescence for me. And I wrote that song about a trip home from trade school one night school. And I never really knew why I remembered that one journey home from trade school after so many years, until I sat down and wrote the song about that journey. So that's probably one. I don't know that, I could single it down to one, but if I had to choose one, maybe that one.
Well, that's another one that I'll certainly be playing. Brendan, where to from here? What are your plans? What's next? You said you're going to Nashville?
Nashville next week.
Yes.
Yeah, so next Wednesday we head overseas, over to the US. Then I'm in Nashville for a week, and then we're doing a little bit of travelling after that in the US. Then I get back and I'm working on my 8th album in the studio, so I'll be setting up session times for the session musos to come in and start tracking songs. Then we've got Tamworth, hats off to Tamworth Festival in July. Then in August, Gympie Muster, and I've also been nominated for some categories in the International Singer-Songwriters Awards. So if I get into the finals of that, it'll mean a trip over to Atlanta, Georgia in August. So yeah, there's a bit coming up.
You obviously are a very, very busy person, so I'm not going to keep you any longer. But Brendan, it's been fabulous to chat with you again. Thanks so much for making time in your very, very busy schedule. And we send you the sincerest best wishes from GDR for your continued success. I hope I won't have to wait another 12 months before we meet again, but it seems you are extremely busy. So whatever you're doing, Brendan, travel safely, my friend.
Thank you so much, and it's always a pleasure to come in and have a chat.